welcome to Unit 1, Level 2 video notes, where we will be focusing on the standard where we solve 2 or 3-step arithmetic problems involving concepts that involve proportions. Our first example, we're given the ratio of the length to the width of a rectangle is 6/13. If the length of the rectangle is 42 inches, what is the perimeter of the rectangle? So we ultimately need to find the perimeter of a rectangle, and the perimeter of a rectangle is twice the length plus twice the width. And that comes from adding up all the sides and combining like terms. L plus L is 2L, and width plus width is twice the width. So ultimately, in the end, we want to be able to plug in the length and the width so that we can figure out what our perimeter is. Well, we're given the length of the rectangle is 42 inches, we need to find the width. In the beginning, they said the ratio, and a ratio is a fraction, it's a comparison of two things, so the length to the width. So I can write that as a fraction, length to the width. And I'm given that it's 6/13. So 6 is with the length and 13 is for the width. So 6 times the scale factor is the length and 13 times that same scale factor is the width. Well, we're given the length of a rectangle is 42 inches, so that would go on top. And we need to solve for the width so that we can plug that in. So 42 is going to go in for our length. We don't know our width. So we have a length to width comparison, and here's our proportion that we can solve. To solve proportions, we cross multiply, and 6 times W would be 6W, and 13 times 42, that product is 546. We undo multiplication with division, so we're going to divide by 6 to each side, so our width is 91 inches. Now that we have that, we can plug it in to find the perimeter. So the perimeter, if you want to just add 42, 42, 91, and 91, you can. Or you can do 2 times 42 and 2 times the width, which is 91. And in the end, you get 266 inches for your perimeter. Example number 2, please write EX. I do that a lot. Here we're given the ratio of the length to the width. There's that ratio again. So I know I can say length to the width. 2 is per, and that's also colons because it said the length to the width, like that. Oh, and here it is. Of a rectangle is 2 to 5. So the length is first to the width, which is second. So I could say 2 to 5. Here we're given if the width of a rectangle is 17 inches. So now I know my width, and that is on the bottom of our fraction. What is the area of the rectangle? So area of a rectangle is length times width. We're given the width is 17. Now we need the length. So our length, we had the comparison of length to width. I was given the width. I can plug in, or I can substitute an L for length here and cross multiply. So here we go. 2 times 17 is 34. And 5 times the length would be 5L. Divide by 5 to each side, and your length is 6.8 inches. Oops, sorry about that, 6.8. All right, now when we substitute it in, the area of this rectangle, which is now 6.8 times 17. The length times the width. Multiply that together and we get 115.6 square inches. Not inches squared, technically they're square inches, so they're about this big on the board I'm drawing. A square foot would be a foot by a foot. And the reason why we get that is because the units on this was inches and the units on that was inches. And we know that inches times inches is the base twice because 3 times 3 is 3 squared. So an inch times inch is inch squared, and we read that as square inches. Good luck on your assignments on level 2. Take care.